If you are struggling, you're already losing. Sink or swim or sink. Actually, there is another S. Swim or sink or study. Actually, one of my best interests when I work with people. First, I always pay attention to linguistics, the way we frame our sentences. And as a joke, but a serious one, I would say immediately, if you are struggling, you're already losing. Meaning, think about a metaphor. If you find yourself in a quicksand, okay, what do? Well, the first impulse, the first instinct is to move your body as quickly as possible in order to get outside that nightmare. But as you probably know, hopefully you did not experience, but this is exactly what speed up the process of failure. So in a quicksand, we need to go against our first intuition. We need to relax. So another metaphor would be sink or swim or sink. Actually, there is another S. Swim or sink or study. Study yourself. The best thing that we can do, and I do this because I practice this, is study ourselves when we are in the problem. My typical reaction, my typical physical tensions, my typical emotional pattern, my typical inner dialogue. Because once you study your patterns, you start to increase the level of your mastery. How? Because no measurement, no management, you know the way of saying. So the more you measure, the more you are aware, the easier it becomes for you to escape a mechanism and habit. So this is a general viewpoint on the work-life balance struggle. But I love to teach a tool, a very concrete tool. I call this the enhanced values map. And it's about value, behaviors, mentors, and reminders. So basically, when I found myself in this problem, Sudhanshu, last 2 years were really, really hectic for me. Not only my job, but also my education. I was taking the executive MBA across the globe. My wife, we don't have kids, but a lot of things going on. And I was struggling. And at some point, I found myself that I was missing the center, the core of my life, the core values. I was trapped in the either or mindset. I can be either a super successful professional or a very good husband, a happy person, stuff like this. And this is the problem. So coming back to unify yourself, you need the values. What's your core values? 2, 3, 4, maximum 5. But this is not enough. You need values and behavior. Let me give you an example. If I say to myself, love is my value, learning is my value, whatever you choose, but pick up love, for example. You need to have a behavior. What's the meaning of love for you? A behavior could be, if I find myself in a problem and I want to call back my values, love to me means having a small smile on a smile on my face. That's the behavior. But this is not enough anymore, because you need a behavior and a mentor. So pick up a person who is for you a great example in that regard. Love, learning. And in that situation, in that problematic situation, imagine what would he, she do right here, right now. And just ask. We are pretty smart creatures. Just ask to your mind. And the fourth one is reminder. I use a lot the power of technology. So pick up a random reminder app on your phone and just write down your values. And then set the reminders to alert you 10 times a day randomly. So during that meeting, you will find your smartphone reminding to yourself your own values, and you will have your behavior, that mentor to ask this question, and I assure you that you will immediately shift the attitude, and you we'll go back to the core. Once you are there, the core, you will start to overcome the either-or mentality, mindset, and you will find that you can enrich through your values both your professional life and personal life. How? By making choices values driven. This is my at least viewpoint. Well, first, let me be a little bit tough here. First, we need to reinforce our ability to change. Okay, when I was invited to my business school, where I graduated to teach what I call the inner game of change. So you know probably the famous book In the Game, and I talk a lot about reinforcing our ability to change, which is not only willpower, it's also the ability to know your habits, know where your habits is forcing you to go, question your habits, change your habits. Okay, this is really, really important, but I cannot go into too many details. So what changes? First, I love integral interventions. So it's not only one solution, it's always a systemic one. So you need a change in mindset, you need a change in action, you need a change in dialogues you have, friends, if you will, and you need a change in your environment, okay? The quickest tip that I can share is find someone else who, in your opinion, is already very good, able, or is inspiring you in this problem. She is able to have this work-life balance. And imitate him, her. Talk with him. Literally, you need to crash that belief system that it is telling us it is always either a successful professional or a happy person. We can't have both. So find someone who is inspiring you and literally go have a dinner with him or her and ask questions. How can you do that? Because chances are that she already had the problem and she was able to overcome. Easier tips would be also plan super small free time slots in your day. Always 5 free time slots. I'm talking about 2 minutes time slots, really short, and do whatever makes you feel happy. Okay, good music, breathing, just have a look at nature. If you don't have nature in front of you, a good poster, have a phone call with one of your friends, smile a little bit, whatever you need to do. Plan ahead, okay? Or maybe use Siri to remind yourself to call a dear one, to breathe, to drink water, to go back to your core values. Take care of yourself, shift from that either or mentality. Always also pay attention to your language. Sometimes when we are in that either or mindset, we tend to use a strong linguistic, always talking about I have to, I must stay in this meeting. They are running late, but I have to. See the shift. Use I am choosing to remain. Because as soon as you use that verb, you immediately give back to yourself the ability to choose. So if I'm choosing, probably I have options in front of me. So, okay, I'm choosing, but I could choose elsewhere, maybe tomorrow, but it's already more space, more options, okay? Another one would be delegate as crazy. As crazy, my friend. Delegate to other professionals if you can pay them, delegate to friends, delegate to technology, delegate as crazy. Even though I'm a mnemonist, for example, I always delegate to technology the entire amount of my workflow. If I had an idea in my mind, I record it. I ask Siri to put on my calendar, always. Then I remember, but I want my mind to be free from anxiety. So this would be a toolkit. So pick the one works for you and practice, practice, practice.